Well, I'm showing that it's after after 7 o'clock. Excuse me. So I'm going to go on and do our little lesson here. Anyway, and then I'll send it to you on YouTube. Okay, quadratics. Now, quadratics are like uh, 3x squared plus 2x plus 5. Those are quadratics, and they're always in this form. If you'll notice, they're equal to 0. So if we have a squared plus 9a plus 14 equals 0, this one is our, is our a value. Actually, it's the 1 is the a. 9 is the b, and the constant is c. Not super whiz bang important right now, but it will be a little later. Now remember, when we're factoring, if we have, well, let's go ahead and take this one. A squared plus 9a plus 14 equals 0. We want the factors of 14. Now everything in here, all the terms, b and c, are both positive. So it's going to be in this form, a plus something and a plus something equals 0. Okay, now we want the factors of 14 that add up to 9. 1 times 14, no. 2 times 7, that's it there, isn't it? So it's 2 and 7. Those are the factors of this quadratic. Now, if we have the linear term, this is the quadratic term, this is the linear term, and this is the constant. Okay, now, if the linear term is negative, b squared minus 9b plus 8. Again, because the linear term is negative and this one's positive, it's going to be b minus something and b minus something. Because remember, when we do distributive property here, the last thing we do is this number times this number, and negative times a negative is a positive. So we want the factors of 8 that add up to -9. So we have -1 times -8. That's it there, isn't it? We don't have to go any further. -1, -8. And you can do the distributive property here if you want to. Just to double check and make sure, if you did distributive property here, it'll come back to that. Now, if you have, let's see, what else? If the constant is negative, if we have e squared minus e minus 30, if the constant is negative, it's going to be e plus something and e minus something. And again, the reason for this is, I wonder where in the world everybody is, or if I'm in the wrong place. Stupid boy. Okay. Let me see. Let me do this. Okay, and again, the reason for that is when we do distributive property, we the last thing we do is this number times this number, and a positive times a negative will give us a negative. So we want the factors of 30. -1 times 30 that add up to this. -2 times 15, -3 times 10, -5 times 6. Once these numbers are are equal or similar to each other, we need not go any further. Or we could have the opposites of this, 1 times. Now, none of these add up to -1. It's going to be this one, right? 5 times -6. The positive number is 5, the negative number is 6. Okay. No, now if you have this, if you have -39 plus 10g plus g squared. Okay, this is not in the right form. We want to see this in ax squared bx, the quadratic term first. So g squared plus 10g minus 39. Now again, in this case, we really don't care about the linear term because the constant is negative. It's going to be g plus something and g minus something. Now, what are the factors of 39 that add up to a positive 10? -1 times 39? No. -2, -3 times, was it 13? There it is there. Okay, the -3, so of course the negative goes there, and the positive number goes there. Look, this is as good a time as any. I'm going to show you how to do this on the calculator. I have a sheet that explains the thing step by step. The first thing is, let's see if I can raise up the camera here. Let's see if that'll do it. Yeah. Okay, the first thing you do is turn it on right down here. I can't tell you how many times I've gone look up here in the screen and I forgot to turn it on. Turn it on. Clear. Okay, here's the standard screen that you're going to get when you turn it on. Now the first thing you do is you go to y equals. Now y equals is right up here. Push that. Now y sub 1 is, we're going to take the number that we want to factor, which was -39. Now the negative key is not this one. This is the subtract key. The negative key is this one. So -39, we put -39 divided by x. Now x is not, of course, this. That means to multiply. X is this up here where it says xt, theta, and n. We divide by x. Now arrow down to y sub 2. And again, you put -39 divided by x plus x. Now what that's going to do is it's going to add the two factors together because we want the factors to add up to 10, right? Right. Now we go to the table. The table is over here above graph. It's in yellow. If you have one of the newer models like TI-84, it might be blue, but hit the yellow, and here's our table. Now under the x and the y sub 1, those are the factors of 39. And if you look, what we want is we want them to add up to a positive 10. So what we want to do is we want to look over here in y sub 2. We want to look for 10. So you arrow down. Let's see. There it is. Nope, not that one. That one. 13, and this says 13 if you can't read it, and negative 3. Okay. And like I said, I'll send you a sheet on this on how to do it. But that's a real handy deal. It'll show you the factors very quickly. Now, so far we've gone ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is 1. Now, what happens if a is not 1? What if it's greater than 1? Let's see if we can do a little bit better here. My big fat fingers don't get in the way. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to group them together. Factor by grouping. And that's what we do when a is greater than 1. A is greater than 1. So what happens if we have this? 2x squared plus 7x plus 6. And again, we always set it equal to 0. Now the first thing we do is, now this one's A, this one's B, and this one is C. The first thing we do is we multiply A times C. I know this seems real difficult, but believe me, it's really not. It's just a different procedure. Now our A is 2, our C is 6, so that's going to equal 12. Now, what we want is, we want the factors of 12 that add up to 7. 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. There it is there, right? So 3 and 4 are our factors. Now what we're going to do is we're going to group these together. What we're going to do is we're going to take the linear term and we're going to split it up into the numbers 3 and 4. Okay? Now we have 2x squared here, and we're going to have these two factors in here. And back here we have 6. Now what factor do we want to put next to the 2? We want to put the 4 in there, and the 3 next to the 6. So plus 4x plus 3x plus 6 equals 0. Now we're going to group these together. Can y'all read this? I'm sorry. Okay, what can we factor out of? Today is Thursday, isn't it? Where is everybody? I must have gone to the wrong place. Okay, what can we factor out of these two things here? 2x. Now 2x times 1 times what is 2x squared? X plus 2. Now look, I do this backwards because my brain goes numb a lot. 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 2 is 4x, so we're right. Plus, and what can we factor out of here? 3. These two must be the same. If they're not, something went wrong. Okay, so our factors are 2x plus 3 times x plus 2 equals 0. Now you can do distributive property if you want, and that'll take you back to there. Okay, let's do another one. Now again, all we're doing here is we're finding the factors of 6 that combine together to give us 7, and then we're going to split the linear term, the middle term, we're going to split it up into two factors, group them together, factor out what you can out of those, and then go from there. So what if we have here? If we have 3a squared plus 10a plus 7 equals 0. Now remember, we want to multiply. First thing we want to do is multiply a times c, which is 3 times 7, which is 21. Now, what are the factors of 21 that add up to 10? 1 times 21? No. 3 times 7, there it is. 3 and 7. So we have 3a squared. Now, what do we want to put next to the 3a? Do we want to put the 3 or the 7? Put the 3 because then we can factor out a 3. Plus 3a plus 7a plus 7 equals 0. And again, all we did here was we took the linear term and split it up into these two. Now we group these together. Now what can we factor out of here? 3a. A plus, what is that, 1? And what can we factor out of here? Don't forget the plus in here. 7 times a plus 1. And again, kind of the acid test here is this and this, are they the same? If they're not, something went wrong. So now we have 3a plus 7 times a plus 1. You don't have to put both of these in here, just one equals 0. Now this is where you take a drink. This stuff would put amphetamine freaks to sleep, you know? You know, I wonder if I went to the wrong day. I'm so stupid. Could have. Okay. All right, what if we have this? Nope, we already did that one. But this 7b squared plus 8b plus 1. Now remember, when the a, this is a, this is b, and this is c, equals 0. When the a value here is not 1, we have to multiply a times c. That is 7 times 1, which is 7. Now, what are the factors of 7 that add up to 8? 1 times 7, right? 7's a prime number, so it's only going to be that. Now, which number do we want to put next to the... And again, what we're going to do is we're going to split up this linear term into 7b squared. Let's put the 7 next to here, so because then we can easily factor out the 7. Plus 7b plus 1b plus 1 equals 0. Okay, now we're going to group these together. We're going to do groupage. Okay, what can we factor out of here? 7b times b plus 1. 7b times b is 7b squared, that's right. 7b times 1 is 7b, right? Now, what can we factor out of this one? We have to have something 1. And again, this and this are the same, so we're probably right. Now we 7b plus 1 times b plus 1 equals 0. Right? Right. Isn't that fun? Hey, good stuff, huh? Okay. Get this if you're so smart. I thought I had this where my big fat hand wasn't in the way. That's what I get for thinking, I guess. Let's see if that works. Yes, nope, didn't work at all. Let me see if I raise it up some. That works. All right. I don't look. Ooh, look how old my hand looks. Oof. It was disgusting. Where are we? I think we already did that one. 15c squared plus c minus 2 equals 0. Okay, now our a term there is coefficient is not 1, so we have to multiply a times c, which is 15 times negative 2, which is negative 30. Now, what are the factors of negative 30 that add up to 1? Positive 1. 30 times 1, 15 times 2, negative, negative. Look, I'm doing this backwards, bonehead. Negative 3 times 10, 4, 5, negative 5 times 6. That's it there, isn't it? Okay, so we have 15c squared, and again, we're gonna split up the linear term into two factors, negative 5 and 6. Which one do we want to put next to the 15? The negative 5. Negative 5c plus 6c minus 2 equals 0. Now we group these together like so. Now what can we factor out of here? 5c. 3c minus 1. 5c times 3c is 15c squared, that's right. And 5c times negative 1 is negative 5c, that's right. Now what can we factor out of here? Positive 2. 3c minus 1. Okay, we just divided each one of these terms here by 2 equals 0. Now we do 5c plus 2. And again, these two have to be the same, and they are. 3c minus 1 equals 0. Uh-huh. Where is everybody? Damn it, I wonder if I went to the wrong place or the wrong day or something. This stupid boy. Okay, 8d squared okay. 8d squared Where am I? Minus 14d plus 3 equals 0. Okay, this is not 1, so we have to multiply. This one's A, B, and C. We multiply A times C, which is 8 times 3, which is 24. Now, what are the factors of 24? Let's do it on the calculator. What do you say? Wouldn't that be fun? First, you turn it on. Okay, we got a y equals. What do we want? We want the factors of 24 that add up to negative 14. Okay, so we're going to have to really pay attention. 24 divided by x, and then we have 24 divided by x plus x. Now look, you ladies have long fingernails, you guys have big fat fingers. You got to have fingers like a spider to work this damn thing. So always look up here and double check to make sure you're right. I'm telling you, you're going to save yourself some grief. Now we go to the table. Yellow. Now, what we want in y sub 2, because these two numbers in the first column and the second column add up to that. Now, we don't want 14. We want negative 14. So which way are the numbers getting smaller? Looks like it's up. So we do the up key. Okay, here. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. Was that it? What do we want? Negative 14. Oh, there it was. Oh, wait. Yeah, there it is. 2 and negative 12. See, there's negative 14 right there. So we have 2. Or is it negative 2? I can't see it. Yeah, it's negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 12. Right? Right. Okay. So which number are we going to put next to the 8 and which one are we going to put next to the 3? Let's put the 2 to the 8 because those two are factors. But the 2 won't, you can't factor out the with the 3 there. So we're going to have 8d squared. Now I've already forgotten. Minus 2d minus 12d plus 3 equals 0. Okay, we're going to group these together and these together. Now what can we factor out of here? 2d. 4d minus 1. This is actually, the negative is actually going to be in there, and that's going to be a plus. So we have, what can we factor out of here? Negative 3. Open. 4d minus 1 equals 0. 4d minus 1, 4d minus 1. This is where it kind of gets a little confusing with the pluses and the minuses. See, I fouled up too. It's easy to do. So we have 2d minus 3. That's why it's important to go back and double check. 2d times 4d is 8d squared. 2d times negative 1 is negative 2d. Negative 3 times 4d is negative 12d. And negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive, so we're right. Times 4d minus 1 equals 0. Okay. Okay. How much time are we on here? 30 minutes. Okay. We talked about this the other day on Tuesday, but let's talk about it again. Conjugates. They are the difference of two squares. So if we have x plus 3, bugs flying in here. X plus 3 times x minus 3. And what's going to happen when you have conjugates like that, or the middle two terms, the linear terms, will be eliminated. So what do we have here? We have x plus x is x squared minus 3x. Now we do the 3 plus 3x minus 9. These two terms are opposites. So this is going to equal x squared. These are gone. Any number minus itself is 0, minus 9. Okay, we have the difference of, what does difference mean? Subtract. The difference of two squares. There's a square, there's a square. Okay. So what if we have this? What if we have x squared minus y squared? What are the factors here? Is this a, excuse me, is this a difference of two squares? Yes. Okay, so we take the square root of each one of these and we get x minus y times x plus y. That's a y there. Same thing here. A squared minus 16. Each one of these are perfect squares. So it's a plus 4. That's a 4. Times a minus 4 equals 0. Okay, and they get a little bit longer, but they really don't get any more difficult. 16b squared minus 25. Okay, both of these terms here are squares, perfect squares. So it's 4b plus 5. Okay, and 4b minus 5. Now, what if you get this? I'm gonna do this to you on tests and maybe a quiz or two. What if we have 4c squared plus 9d squared? Are these perfect squares? Yes, but it's not the difference of. So this is prime, right? Right. Okay, y'all have a good weekend. Take care. Bye bye. Bye bonds.